All right, guys, Wes here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we've got some big updates for Cyberpunk's Phanom Liberty expansion. We are coming down to the wire. We got some big news to talk about. We have some new concept art that has been revealed that showcases some backstory about different locations that are in the Phanom Liberty expansion. We've got a big reveal event that is happening with the Gamescom opening night live that is taking place this week. We're going to go over all of the details for you guys. Along with that, we have another episode of Red Streams that's taking place that's going to go over some new details as well as a Q&A segment where the devs will be going over some important questions that we all have regarding Phanom Liberty's gameplay. Also, real quick, guys, I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 to one lucky subscriber. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, tweet me proof that you're subscribed, and I will pick the winner at 130k subs. I've got the full details in the pinned comment. So yeah, guys, this week is a big week for Cyberpunk's Phanom Liberty expansion. And CDPR, if you're listening, you better make sure that that menu screen looks good, because if it doesn't, I'm sure Twitter will go crazy because that seems to be the trend lately. And another side note, I hope all of you celebrated Arasaka Tower Nuke Day, because yesterday, August 20th, 2023, Johnny Silverhand successfully nuked Arasaka Tower. So pour one out for the corpos, and let's go ahead and go into some new concept art for Phanom Liberty. So this first bit of concept art says scraps from the past, and the caption says, wondering why this pile of Aerozep scrap that's squatting right in the stadium stomach ain't been junked for parts yet? Well, it's a vital part of Kurt's Wonderland. The nuclear heart nestled inside feeds Dogtown's folks with juice, no bills attached. Toss in water, a roof overhead, all for zip. You begin to gasp the siren song of Hansen's Utopia. For the next bit of concept art, it says Paradise Lost. Folks call it Dogtown these days, but once upon a time it was slated to be a high-rolling resort, brimming with luxury spas, ritzy casinos, and grand hotels. Then along came the NUSA's Unification War, wrapped hard on Night City's doorstep, spooked the big money boys. They all pulled their eddies, ran for the hills, left the dream gathering dust. Now for our first bit of news, as you guys know, Gamescom opening night live is happening Tuesday, August 22nd. And with that, we've got a Jeff Keighley confirmation of one of the games that will be there. And yes, it is going to be Cyberpunk's Phanom Liberty expansion. Jeff tweeted out this, and I quote, Tuesday, don't miss a world premiere new look at the gameplay of Phanom Liberty during Gamescom opening night live. Streaming everywhere live at 8 p.m. CET, 7 PST, 2 p.m. ET, and 11 a.m. PT. So that is finally going to be where we get to see our first glimpse of the actual gameplay during the opening night live, which is really exciting. Now, we've seen little bits and pieces of gameplay during the trailer, but it's mainly been kept to like cutscenes. We've seen some landscapes, but really we haven't gotten a full look, or rather a meaty look, at the gameplay and gunplay of Phanom Liberty, and that's going to be really exciting. But if the world premiere gameplay during Gamescom opening night live doesn't do it for us, we've got another info dump from CDPR themselves going down later in the week. According to the Cyberpunk Twitter account, they said this, and I quote, get ready for the next episode of Red Stream, where our hosts, together with their guests, the lead environment designer and Gabe, the game director, will discuss several features that come with our next major update and the Phanom Liberty expansion, and it will include gameplay. And that will be taking place on August 24th at 4 p.m. CEST. And then after that tweet, they followed up with even more information about what this stream and the Q&A session will be doing. They said this on Twitter: during the stream, we will also be hosting a short Q&A session with our devs. If you have any burning questions about Dogtown and its characters, police systems, new skills and perks, or car combat, drop them on our official forum or Discord channels, links below. So by all accounts, it sounds like the marketing for the new expansion is about to ramp up to 1,000,000%, and I'm really glad that not only is this live stream going to go over the new update that's coming out, but it's also going to go in depth with the expansion as well. Now, there's been a bit of confusion regarding the new update for Cyberpunk as well as the Phanom Liberty expansion. I've seen some concerns raised, and I'd like to just clarify right now. For one, there's going to be an update that overhauls the base game for Cyberpunk 2077. It features the new skill tree, the new vehicle combat, and all of the quality of life fixes. That right there is going to be completely separate to Phanom Liberty. So if you'd like to experience just the new updates to Cyberpunk, you could do so by just downloading the free update. Now, if you want to experience the spy thriller expansion, that is Phanom Liberty. That's the one that's going to cost. So you're not going to have to spend money to get all of the quality of life fixes, because that stuff is going to be free. So hopefully that clears it up. So speaking of the big patch for Cyberpunk 2077, that's the next thing that I'd like to go over, as this thing is about to overhaul the entirety of Cyberpunk 2077. It's being entitled the 2.0 update, and it's said to overhaul all of the main systems of the game in a major way. The biggest ones are the perk and skill trees, which have been rebuilt completely. Obviously, we know the vehicle combat has enabled new car chases. Now, for me, I think the vehicle combat system sounds like the biggest update for this game, and it's probably the part that I'm most excited about. According to Sasko, one of the developers for CDPR, they said this, and I quote, you can aim your handgun through the windshield or windows. There are also weaponized vehicles with Gatling guns or rockets you can actually use and shoot. Some of the cars from the base game will be updated and and weaponized, whereas others you can just shoot up doors, like from the original CGI trailer where V was shooting out of the door. On motorcycles, you can use your katana. There's also weak points on a vehicle that would make combat more dynamic. Now, one main objective that is a side quest will involve stealing vehicles from Mama Wells, and some of them will be extremely difficult to snatch due to the additional objectives required to get them, like completing the theft without taking damage or having to follow the car and hack it remotely. If you've ever played GTA 5, that's essentially just boosting the vehicle, and if you get it damaged, that means less money that you get, which I think is a great option, and I cannot wait for it. They of course also expanded the AI and completely redid the police system, which is actually rebuilt from the ground up. There's multiple levels with it, with multiple archetypes of enemies who will chase you. It's also going to be completely different from Dogtown compared to Night City. They did a complete overhaul to the loop and whole progression of the game. The difficulty curve is different. The tiers and drops of loot are different as well. There's a bunch of UX UI changes that have been greatly updated to help out the overall user experience. Obviously, you guys saw the new skill tree update that I mentioned in my last video. It makes it a lot easier to understand, and it's just super clean. Now, in addition to all of those changes, by far the biggest thing that I'm most curious about is the cyberware system that's been overhauled. Now, in what ways we don't really know as of yet, but the skill trees focus more on new abilities opposed to simple stat changes, meaning there's going to be a lot more gameplay options at our disposal, which is very interesting, and I cannot wait. Now, along with that, there's also going to be a new relic tree system full of potential upgrades that can be achieved by finding relic points around Dogtown. Now, recently there was the big Phanom Liberty tour that was located in Warsaw, and we actually have some new information to go off of. This is from the Cyberpunk game subreddit, so shout out to that thread. We're going to go down the list and talk about some of the major changes. So first and foremost, there is no new options in the character creator. The level cap has been increased to 70. There's no new samurai songs. At least 3 new radio stations were added to the game. The vehicle combat is also available from the third-person perspective. Driving your car is almost the same as the base game, so there was no big updates. There was a new phone interface. There was an improved camera model and facial animations. Gunplay has not really changed at all. There's a new vehicle buying system similar to GTA 5. A cooldown has been added to healing items and grenades so you don't spam them. We knew this already, but there's not going to be any new game plus stuff added. Enemy netrunners have been buffed. There's a transmog management system, a wardrobe that's now available in clothing stores. The climbing animations for V have also been upgraded. It looks like every level of heat, every star adds something new to the police chase. On the highest level, max tac come in via dropship and stuff like that. It's possible to increase the number of installable cyberware with the corresponding perks. A new side quest for Vic will be added to force players with an existing save to change cyberware to reduce the newly added humanity cost. Some NPCs will react to our character. New sounds for Outlaw GTS described as more aggressive. After installing new cyberware, when you exit the Ripper Dock menu, you see an animation of V getting up from the chair all in pain, and there was just a ton more added. This is obviously not everything that's going to be in the Phanom Liberty update, but this is kind of an idea. So if you plan on asking questions during the Q&A, you can use this knowledge as a baseline. Now, basically all of these changes being added to Cyberpunk for the 2.0 update are all in preparation for the big Phanom Liberty expansion, which is all really exciting. CDPR wants to get this game in the best technical state as possible, so when they add new content, it doesn't really cause any issues. Now, if you've been considering playing Cyberpunk as of lately, I would honestly wait until the 2.0 update comes out, because it's basically going to be turning the entire game into something brand new. So definitely hold off if you've already purchased the game. Wait until the expansion. I promise it will likely be a better experience than launch. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely clear that CDPR is doing their absolute best to redeem themselves, and to most importantly, just make the game that was initially hyped up and what they envisioned. Now, despite Cyberpunk's insulting launch back in the day, CDPR has done their best to shake off everything and just keep moving along so that they could try to maintain their position near the top of the RPG food chain. I mean, these developers literally made Witcher 3 my favorite video game of all time, and they are still held in incredibly high esteem by the gaming community, but there's still no denying that Cyberpunk really put a dent in the developer's reputation. With all of the changes that Cyberpunk has in the near future, I think it's safe to say that CDPR really sees this as their moment of redemption and just show the entire community and industry that this is what they're capable of. Now, like I said, I'm not going to stand here and say I didn't wish all of these changes shipped with the game at launch, because obviously that would have made the original version a lot better of a game and much more enjoyable, but there really is a lot riding on this expansion and big overhaul, so CDPR can prove that they're worthy of a redemption arc and also give us a reason to be excited for future projects in the Witcher series, as well as the new Cyberpunk game that they're going to be developing. I think CDPR is up to the task because they're very clearly trying to make sure that this expansion is as strong as it can be. Let's just all hope that they took all of the criticism of the original version at launch and turned Cyberpunk into one of the best RPGs of the last decade, and of course finally separate itself from from the infamous launch version. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do me a favor, leave a like if you've enjoyed my coverage of Phanom Liberty. Subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any future updates. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.